Hey, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Two Men with Mics. I'm your host, Bobby Joe, and I've got my co-host with me, CJ. What's going on?
What up? What's up? What's up, guy?
Nothing much.
Now. What's up,
You-
guy?
Nothing much. Just trying to get through this week. Was sick here, so trying to recover from that. But yeah, that's it.
Happy health to you and all. Actually,
You know,
happy health to you and the whole family.
Yeah. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to stay healthy so I can keep giving people these jokes on Facebook. But that's a different story. But yeah,
You're the Facebook comedian now.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
That's all right, man.
But today, man, I wanted. I know you've been following the playoffs.
Yeah.
I told I've been really paying close attention to the Bucks and the Nets.
Okay.
Now, to me, it seems like it's going to be a more competitive, series now that Kyrie Irving is out. I've heard my sources tell me that what's his name, the Beard, Mr. James Harden is playing tonight. So I don't know how many minutes he's going to be able to give him, but so what are your thoughts? I think now the Bucks have a chance, but
I think they really do, just because now are we talking about the New York Knicks against the Milwaukee Bucks? It got to be the Knicks. It can't be the Nets, right? My team. Let's go Knicks.
We're talking about the Nets. They've been dominating. So
those guys, the other part of but to be honest, I think that the Milwaukee has a really good chance now, and I'm almost close to saying that it might be a really, really, really. I think the scale is tipped for them to win the series now. Mm-hmm. Because for the simple fact that Brooklyn doesn't have the offense anymore, and KD can't produce all the offense. So they kind of showed it when Kyrie went out and turned his ankle. Once he went out, the offense went down. I think they dropped in the third quarter. I think that whole quarter was I think they went 13 points or something like that just in the third. I could be wrong on, but I don't quote me on that. But it was pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
So. And nobody else was helping him. So, you can't put it all on KD. That's the same thing when KD was, down in wherever, some of those other places. And you can't put it all on his shoulder, even though he is a bucket magnet. But he can't win the series on his own. And then with Harden coming back, I was kind of wary about that, just depending on the severity of the injury with that hamstring, is because, you're not making moves like you do, even though Harden doesn't necessarily make moves. But you're not 100%. How many buckets are you really going to be able to give? And let's be honest, Mr. Harden doesn't play defense. So with a pulled hamstring, how much defense are you really going to put out there? Or whatever little defense you did put out there, it's going to be zero, irrelevant at this time. So he's like I said, that's why I think the Bucks have a really, really great chance right now to beat the Nets, which I hate to see, because I really was going for the Nets. Just because I want to see that team make it, to see what they could do, healthy,
Right.
Which I think everybody projected they were going to win anyway.
I would like to see the Suns and the Nets in the finals. I do think the Bucks have a better chance now, but the Nets are playing at home. I know KD can't do it all by himself. But, they're playing at home tonight.
Let me ask you, who else is going to give him points? Name one person who's going to give KD points.
I'm telling you. Now, if he can get hot, the young man, and I'm so bad right now because I'm forgetting everybody's name. Joe, I want to say not Thomas. The young man that's been shooting pretty good from 3-point line. I don't know who else besides him would be able to give him many buckets. I mean, or score down the stretch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And if Harden comes in, how much playing time is he? How long is he going to be able to go? Is it, he runs the risk of re-injuring himself.
Yeah,
I don't know. You're right.
yeah. I mean, and you know, I would say this. If I'm not, you think about Joe Harris.
Joe Harris. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Joe Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's not creating off the dribble. I put it
he's
that
not.
way.
You're right.
He's not creating off the dribble, so he has to come off these screens. But at the same time, you still have to leave necessarily that top right. I think is where KD plays at,
Mm-hmm.
a little open for him to where that's where he creates his shots at,
Mm-hmm.
along with the pick and rolls. So if he's not coming and just sitting off on the side by himself, chilling, he's not gonna drop. You know, he's not pulling those threes for you. And then what else you got? You got Jeff Green and
True.
Mike. You know what I'm saying? Who else you got out there? What's
Yeah.
his name? I can't. I'm like, you know, Bruce Brown. All
No,
those guys.
nobody. Yeah, nobody on that roster scares me other than KD, Kyrie,
Yeah.
and Harden.
And then another thing, which I think, you know, and I think which they showed in the last game, even Blake Griffin sat out the last quarter for whatever reason. So is he hurt too now all of a sudden?
Well, and then even if he wasn't, he's nowhere near the player he was. So
Yeah.
he's gonna get you some dunks. He's gonna get you some threes, but
They were,
he's not that player he was. So
yeah,
but
you know,
yeah,
they were using him for the body to body Giannis, and I guess basically take a lot of fouls or, you know, give a lot of fouls and this, that, and the other. But if he's even not out there, you know, so
it should be. I mean, and I'm gonna tell you, and going to the Bucks, I said something earlier in the week. I don't know if you saw it, but I got a little flack from it by some of my Facebook friends. I said Giannis was a little overrated, and it was showing in the series because when you think about it, and I was looking, okay, he's not really a good shooter. And I think James Harden touched on it. Yeah, you just dribble down to the rim, dunk, and I started watching this game, and I was just like, he's supposed to be the star of the team, this, that. I really do think I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking by what I said. I think he is overrated.
I think he's overrated too, to a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
He has like I said, he has the what I call my Alexa's going off. Somebody's calling me on Alexa. But that's funny. Every time I do this, I'm always happy. Anyway, I think with him, he has that what I call that LeBron syndrome. At one point, LeBron was just big, and you're just bulldozing people and getting layups. I don't consider that great. I just consider you big.
Right.
You're not showing any other skill other than that you can dribble and bulldozer someone. That's not a talent. That's just that's just like, I guess you're saying, I guess you could say you're using what was given to you. But if he's not stepping out and, let's say, shooting the three, and for all means, this dude in his free throws, so your skills are your skills are not that great to be, and you're just running down and dunking, basically. As a basketball player, I'm like, man, that's not exactly skill to me when it comes to sports. I mean, you made it to the league with it, so I'm not mad at you. And I'm not hating on you, but to say that you're so good, I'm like, nah, bro. Because if I put somebody on the same size of you, where you couldn't back them, like just bully and bulldoze them, but I stood back and dared you to shoot let's say, even a 15-foot jump shot, and you probably hit 1 out of 15, 1 out of 30. You're not that great, bro.
Well, and I agree. Who I think is going to have a big game tonight is Chris Middleton.
Oh yeah, but he's been having a good game.
Yeah, he has. He's just going to have another big one on the road. Yeah. They got to take advantage of Kyrie being out, Harden being, I don't know if he's at 50%, whatever he is. If they can't take advantage of this and win.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it even louder that Giannis is overrated.
You don't get that. Let me do that. Overrated.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna do it. Just like him and Ben Simmons are my top two.
Oh yeah, man, don't get me on that guy.
Yeah,
Before you get on Ben Simmons, I'm gonna tell you something. I've been wanting to say this guy. I've been telling other people at the bar when we watch the Bucks play.
right,
I said if I was the coach of the Nets, I literally would just clog the middle and leave um, one guy just shadowing Middleton
right.
and let them get the points from. You got to use those other guys to get your points because they haven't been putting up either as well. So and I'm gonna let those guys. If those guys beat me, okay. But a lot of people like you gotta let the stars get the points and nah. I'm like, you know what? Because Giannis is so one dimensional. Why not drop 2 to 3 people in that paint area? Especially when he's already dribbling up the court, he's gonna a lot of times. Just say for instance, he goes to the left at the top of the key. That's where he's gonna start his drive at. I'm already dropping a guy over, just kind of fading in and out, kind of like a running back, not a running back. I'm sorry, a linebacker. How they fade in and fade out, fade in, fade out, pretending like they're coming at that blitz, pretending they're not.
Right, right.
I'm doing 1 or 2 guys outside of the guy guarding him, and then I'm leaving one guy to actually shadow Middleton to keep him off that 3 because he has been hitting threes for the series. So I just wanted to be a coach for a minute. Me, I'm telling guys, I need to get that out.
Yeah. I mean, I think he probably foul out within the first 5-7 minutes because you notice when he goes down, it's full speed. It's the Euro step. He's trying to get around people, and then sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I was just thinking to myself, this dude, is overrated.
He really is. He's just big, and like I said, even in that drive, he's not changing direction. Basically, with the dribble, that dribble was only that one hand, and if the most he might slow down and stop and kind of might try to slow spin off of, But if you got that lane already clogged at that point, he's just going to spin into a defender. The Euro step when you're going to take away the Euro step if you have him charging, and all of a sudden you get a guy that steps over, and then maybe even a third guy to step over, make him push it out, throw it out, in which he's not been that great at doing that either. So, but then again, and like I go Ben Simmons now. Ben Simmons, man.
Yeah, and we can talk a little bit about that series too, because
oh my gosh. But that Ben Simmons, man, I don't know, man.
So there's a guy, one of my Facebook friends. He's from Philly. He's a big Sixers fan, and he was saying, well, the fans don't care about him not having a jumper. I said, if you keep going out early in the playoffs, I mean, they're going to start. I think he's a liability at the end of games because he can't shoot free throws. He can't shoot, and I was wondering, does he even work on his outside shooting during the practice, the off season? He doesn't even attempt. I could see if he was shooting and like, oh, he's just bad. He doesn't even attempt shots.
Yeah. That's why I don't get it. Like being in the league, he's been in there long enough to even have developed some type of shot by now. Like literally, you should be hitting 2 for 18 right now.
Right.
And I would be happy because I'm like, okay, you didn't learn a jump shot. I'm like this, man. If the ball boy could change his jump shot, then you should be able to develop a jump shot at this point in time.
Right.
So I'm like, come on, man.
What's your prediction for the Sixers Hawks series? Because I honestly, I'm thinking now it's going to go 7 games.
I think the Sixers will get them in 6.
You think they get them in 6?
Yeah, I really do.
It won't be for the from the shooting of Ben Simmons.
Yeah, that won't. I agree. It won't. And they did take him out in the last few minutes of the game last night when it was close because they didn't want him to get fouled to keep so they didn't want him on the free throw line. Of course, automatically they're gonna foul him. I think they were in the bonus too, so it was like nah. So they pulled him out within the last few minutes. I'm like, man, you can't be the star of the team and getting pulled out at the last couple of minutes.
Exactly.
I don't think that's star quality right there,
Exactly.
And if I'm an owner, that's going to be something that when I'm getting ready to negotiate that contract, I'm going to put that out there so I can take less money from, I have to pay you more money. Like, bro,
right.
At the end of the games, you're not that valuable right now.
Exactly. So who do you think's going to meet the Suns in the Western Conference?
I'm you know, much I hate to say, it's probably going to be the Bucks. It's. Here's the thing. It's going
Well,
to
in the
be.
Western or in the NBA Finals, or just like in the
I'm
or just
talking
like in the Western. You talking about NBA Finals?
finals.
Okay, Finals. Okay,
I'm talking finals. So
okay.
what were you asking me? The Western?
Yeah, I was just like, who's going to meet the Suns in the?
Uh,
I'm thinking the Clippers now.
really? That series is it's so wish washy right now.
I'm
And you
thinking
know,
I think it's going to be the Clippers.
you got not playoff P. You don't know when he's going to show up. You
Yeah,
don't know. He's had the last two games. He's dropped 30 the last two games. But
right.
but he's guaranteed to be a bust.
Yeah,
And he's just not giving. Man, that's why it's hard. Out of that one, that's a toss up for me, to be honest. It's a toss
I,
up.
I'm hoping that's what it's going to be because I think that would be a good series. But
Yeah,
man, the way the Suns are playing, the way Chris Paul,
yeah.
and I'm not a huge Chris Paul fan.
True point guard though, right now. True
Yeah,
point guard.
you probably know this about me. I have a hard time letting things go that people do. And whenever
Mhm.
Chris Paul kicked that guy in the nuts in college, I was
Yeah.
like, that's a dirty player. And from then on out, I was like, I don't like Chris Paul. But
Was the guy he kicked your cousin?
no, he wasn't. He might
Was
as
it
well have
family
been.
member?
It might as well have been.
Like, you take that a little too personal.
Yeah,
there,
for
but-
real. No, but the way he's making everybody else around him better and getting everybody shots
Yeah.
and then Devin Booker,
Oh my goodness, Mr.
Man.
Moss point on. Yeah.
but straight out of Moss Point. When he came out, I'm not gonna lie. When he came out of Kentucky after his freshman year, I thought, what is this dude doing?
I was there too.
Is he even ready? And then I was reading something where he only went to Kentucky because he had to go somewhere because he couldn't go right into the league
Straight,
out of high school. I'm just like, what is he doing? He needs one more year at least under his belt at Kentucky.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, look, me too. I'm like, no, bro. But that dude's he's a killer. He's a monster.
Yeah,
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for that guy, man. And he's,
Yeah.
he's a little humble too. Still, it's not like he plays the game and be quiet. That's it.
He. I mean, and then you got Crowder, and then it's like they actually remind me of some of those Kentucky teams because they come at you in waves.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I think if it's Clippers Suns,
So who's in that series?
the next
Who do you
series?
have? Who do you have? Clippers.
For the finals or
Yeah,
Okay.
like I'm on the Western. Who do you have playing against each other?
okay? So I mean for the Western Conference, I mean I say Clippers Suns, and I think the Suns. I think it may go 6 games. I think it'll go 6 games, and then I think it's if Kyrie and Harden can get healthy, man. And then you already know Harden and Paul have this kind of history where they don't kind of really like each other.
Yeah.
From playing in Houston, if I'm not mistaken. So you get that little
Yeah.
little side story going on, and I'm telling you, I think that would be like one of the best finals.
Yeah. I think it sets up for a nice storyline.
Yeah, I think you those two teams, and if they can get healthy, well, I think Kyrie will be healthy by then. I mean,
You think so? No,
I think he will by the finals. I think he would. You don't think so?
Nah, man, his whole ankle touched the floor.
I know he was. It was. I look away every time I see it.
Yeah, that's a lot of steroids in one ankle. That's what they're gonna be doing.
That is, I don't know, but my prediction is Nets, Suns, NBA Finals, and I can't even give you like who I think would win because I think the teams. This would be the best. You got scorers on both. You got Harden, you got Durant, you got Irving, then you got Chris Paul,
Yeah.
Devin Booker, and then you got all these pieces around them that they still score. You got Crowder, you got all these people that can knock down open shots. So
Yeah.
man, I'm watching every game. That's my prediction. I'm watching every game.
Yeah, I've been on them too, and I think I'm kind of like with you. Same thing with the Suns against. Well, I'll take that back. It was the Suns and Nets
Hmm.
before the injuries on the Nets, but now, I mean, I'm still. I guess I'm trying to figure it out right now between that series, between
Right,
I mean, sorry, the Bucks and the Nets. Uh, just like I said, it's just so iffy right now.
right,
Uh, the Bucks have a nice little momentum going, but they were at home, so that's one thing. But uh,
right.
I would have just
No,
loved to see the Suns against the Nets healthy.
right, right.
No,
Man, we'll see, man. But look, I was asking a question to some of uh my Facebook friends
uh-huh.
who are women, I thought a good idea we could, since we talk about sports and just barbershop talk, two guys talking, that we would get questions from the ladies, questions they've always wanted to ask men, never got a chance to, or afraid to ask.
Okay.
So our first question is from Renata Burns in North
Mm-hmm.
Carolina. She wants to know, why do men more often than not choose the woman who's less successful with nothing going on for herself over a woman who's already successful and established?
You want me to answer this
Yeah,
first?
yeah, I mean, I can answer it if you want me to. You want me to
Look,
answer?
I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, I guess.
Okay, all
Well,
right,
I have a two answers. I'm the left side of the answer, the right side of the answer.
okay, yeah. Go ahead.
The
I'm
more
I'm ready.
mature side, the left side, is because uh, subconsciously men are a little bit more attracted to women that are a little bit lower than their, I can say, their class, but if you're
Would you think it's a
successful,
self esteem? Would you think it's an insecure self
yeah, I
esteem issue?
think men tend to have this have to take care of home uh
Hmm.
thing in their, and I guess embedded in them, kind of sort of born with little chip or mechanism that you to take care of or be the head. That's like a sign of being a head of the household, head of
Right.
things. So subconscious, that's what they might be doing. You
Hmm.
know, she could probably still be just successful, but not make as much money as that
Hmm.
guy. Because then it's like if she makes more or whatever, then he might feel like, oh, this mother trying to, throw what she do. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a long answer, but I just kind of think on that left side, that my mature one is because it's just a mechanism within men that they do that.
They, yeah, they just
Now
kind
the
of want.
right side, yeah, I'm
All
gonna give you
right.
the right
All
side,
right. All
the
right.
immature side. Usually, the mugs that be so successful, they don't be about much of nothing. I'm probably gonna get beat up for this one bad, but a lot of times them chicks that don't be as successful or not as successful, them dudes when they go get them chicks be little firecrackers.
Right.
They fun and do some strange for some change back in the bed. Just
Right. Right. Right.
they be good. They be ready for this fire, man. They ain't got nothing to lose. So then you get the successful lady. He go get her. It's
Right.
everything a little more down, like slow paced, and she worried about the career and put more headache on top of headache about, this our 5 year goal. We gotta do this in 5 years. We gotta have this in 5 years. We gotta make
Right.
sure this over here taken care. We doing this, and then you're gonna get in bed and she might be Commander Joe or like, oh,
Like they
just
like to
hurry.
say, an alpha female.
Yeah, oh, hurry up, or do it till like you ain't doing it right. I ain't trying to do this tonight. Well, I go back get old little firecracker. She
Yeah.
had done her thing, but that's my, I'm gonna get beat up later, but it's
Right.
chauvinistic. But yeah, I don't care. So
Well. So I think, and I agree with you. I think, from a man's perspective, I think some men maybe are intimidated. It may be like a self esteem issue, or have an issue with a woman. Maybe she makes more money than he does, but maybe she doesn't.
mhm,
Let's say she does, and maybe he may have an issue with that. Men, we like to feel needed.
exactly.
You could be making more money than me. Another thing too is, let's say, I always hear this, and I think it's true. Some men want a woman to be his piece, so it may not have anything to do with how successful you are, or what level you've reached in life. If you're if I'm out here and I've got all these issues going on and I'm arguing and this me against the world mentality, I don't want to come home and then argue with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you're not going to be my peace at home, I don't care how much money you make or how successful you are. And nobody got time for that. So this woman who you may think is less successful or doesn't have her stuff together, it's not to say she won't, but she could be, and I don't want to say, and I'm not trying to say, oh, somebody who's just going to go along and agree with everything I say or do. That's not what I'm saying. But somebody that you can get along with and who's easygoing, and that's not to say who's just going to go along with everything I say. No, that's not what I'm saying. But yeah, nobody wants somebody you gotta, that you're going to argue with, or who's a handful, or so. I think there's just so many factors that go into it's like a loaded question, but I think that's a lot of it. So I think a lot of men, we may not necessarily care about how much money you make because we view ourselves as the breadwinner. It's nice. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. But yeah, with the main thing, we want you to be our peace at home.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was about to
go
say,
ahead. No, go ahead.
I'll say this real quick because I've dealt with a lot of successful women,
Hmm.
and it was the same thing. And then I guess I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably guilty for it because I have judged the successful women or
Hmm.
compared them to the ones that wasn't as successful, and it was always the same thing that where they, and I'm not insecure, but it was they were always focused more on their job than what was at home.
Hmm.
So, and after a while, you're just like, man, forget. And then you already know what that's going to lead to. If I can't, if I'm home and only thing you're focused on is getting your job, and I guess let's say better in that career that you got, but you're not taking care of home, what I call it.
Right.
What's the next step that's going to happen is that dude's going to go out and go mess with that firecracker again. It all leads back to that firecracker, but then the ones that wasn't as successful, they had a decent job, they paid their bills, did whatever they had to do. They still took care of a home, and they were good at home. And like you said, they were peace at home.
Hmm.
And even why you say peace at home, if I'm coming home and let's say if you're not an argument, but if you're only talking about your job, you're only dealing with your job, you get headaches from your job because you're trying to so focus on your job, then that's taking away peace from me as well too.
Right.
Because now I got to deal with you and everything that you're dealing with at your
Right.
job.
Right. Yeah. Hey, and yeah, that's true. So Renata, out of North Carolina, we hope those answers provided you with some valuable insight. Be peaceful. Be easygoing, but you don't have to agree with everything we say. That's not what I'm saying. So there you have it. And this is going to wrap up another great episode of Two Men with Mics. I've been Bobby Joe, and my co-host
I'm CJ.
has been CJ.
I can't even come by in that one.
But yeah, we hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more great episodes, and we will be back next week.
All right, peace out.
Later.